So I picked up this Samsung Galaxy A07 for $90 about a week ago, and I'm not gonna lie, I was expecting the usual budget smartphone disappointments from Samsung when compared to the competitors. You know, the laggy performance, terrible cameras, and the whole deal. But then I saw it had the Helio G99 processor. That's the same chip that's on phones that cost way more than this. So now I'm sitting here wondering if Samsung accidentally priced this thing wrong, or maybe they're actually up to something. I'm gonna show you all I found in this video, and so without taking much of your time, yo guys, let's get started. First up, let's start with the design. The Galaxy A07 doesn't feel like your typical budget smartphone. Sure, it sports a plastic back and frame, but it doesn't scream cheap when you hold this device. Samsung has given it a slight design refresh with a single sleek camera module that resembles its higher-end siblings, like the A25, A35, and A55. And it's splash resistant with an IP54 rating, so a little rain won't be its downfall. You can pick from colors like the light violet, which, let's be honest here, is more like a pastel than violet. There's this green which I have here, and also a black if you want to go that route. A side note, it's a fingerprint magnet, so investing in a case might be a wise decision. By the way, you should get a case and a charger when you buy this device right now from most vendors. There's also a side-mounted fingerprint scanner which doubles as the power button, a nifty little feature for quick access. And yes, it still has this U-shaped notch which actually feels old at this point, especially when combined with the large chin and bezels on the smartphone. It's not the snazziest design, but for a budget smartphone, it's sturdy and practical. The Galaxy A07 comes with a dual SIM support and also a dedicated micro SD card slot for storage expansion. Yes, you still have the headphone jack on the smartphone, a feature that is slowly becoming the unicorn of smartphones. And let's not forget the mono speaker you get on this device. It does the job but won't replace the Bluetooth speaker anytime soon. I've seen better stereo speakers at this price point though. Samsung is giving the A07 a 6.7-inch IPS LCD display with a resolution of 720p. And yes, Samsung still rocks this U-notch style design like I mentioned earlier, and here's the good thing about this display. You get a 90Hz refresh rate, which is an upgrade from the 60Hz we got on the Samsung Galaxy A06 from last year. Sure, it's not AMOLED, but for casual and social media browsing, it holds its own. See, when you consider the price of the smartphone, you can't really complain too much about this display. Don't just expect it to dazzle in direct sunlight, as this is not the brightest display you'd use. Now here's where things get interesting. Under the hood, the A07 packs the MediaTek Helio G99 processor. You usually find this kind of performance on pricier models. In fact, other devices around this price point like the Redmi 15C and even the Spark 40 from Tecno all come bundled with the Helio G81 processor, so seeing the G99 on here is a pleasant surprise. Whether you're flipping through Instagram or playing a game such as Call of Duty Mobile on medium settings, the A07 handles it with grace. And with Android 15 on One UI 7, you get a clean, user-friendly interface that Samsung promises to support with updates for 6 years. I mean, while I'm skeptical about how well this hardware will handle updates 6 years into the future, it's still great to have that support. By the way, the 4GB version may struggle with heavy multitasking. Yes, it will. But if you can get the 6GB variant for 172,000 Naira or $110, you should get a better experience. Now let's talk about the cameras. The A07 features a 50-megapixel main sensor and an 8-megapixel selfie shooter, just like the predecessor. It's nothing groundbreaking, but in good lighting, it delivers decent shots. I also did notice a slightly better processed rear photo camera from the smartphone when compared to the Galaxy A06. My take is, make sure you do not take photos or videos in low light, except you're aiming for that grainy retro vibe. The front-facing camera or the selfie shots are okay, and as before, you have this beauty filter thing going on here, and you can turn that off or on. Yeah, it's there. For video recording, it tops out at 1080p 30fps, which is serviceable for quick clips. But if I'm being brutally honest, it's not the best. You need plenty of light for good shots, no stabilization, and it's just there, but it works. Samsung keeps the power going with a 5000 mAh battery. It's reliable and should easily get you through a day with moderate use. I didn't notice any difference in terms of use with the Galaxy A06. It's still about 7 hours screen on time with the A07. And when it's time to juice up this device, you have 25-watt fast charging support, which has got you covered. And you can charge this device up to 50% in about 30 minutes. You can get up to 50% in 30 minutes if you get the right charger that works with this device and supports Samsung's fast charging. So get a Samsung charger for the smartphone. So what are the trade-offs? This can be the best thing since sliced bread. When compared to the likes of the Redmi 15C or the Tecno Spark 40, the A07's Helio G99 processor gives it an edge in performance. However, if you're chasing after a top-tier camera performance or maybe the flashier design, those alternatives might catch your eye. At this point, it's mainly all about what you prioritize in a smartphone. Speaking of the price point, you can get this device at the base configuration, which is 4GB of RAM and 64GB of internal storage for 146,500 Naira or $90. While double that storage will go for 156,500 Naira or about $100 for 128GB of internal storage. So, is the Samsung Galaxy A07 the budget smartphone to beat? If you're after reliable performance and long-term software support without splurging, it absolutely is. But I'm curious here, what do you think about the A07? Is it the right pick for you, or would you go for the competitors like the Redmi 15C or the Tecno Spark 40? Let's chat in the comment section below, let me know your thoughts down there. And also check out this video where I compared the A07 against the A06. Go check it out. Catch you in that video. Kowi that day.